Now we review the Netflix 2024 film Beverly Hills Cop Axel F. They could have switched that around a bit and made this a very different movie. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, I am Richard. This is Random Street Theater, and I have seen Beverly Hills Cop Axel F. Somebody invited me to see it. It's a new enough movie, and I try to see as many new movies as I can for the lot of you. Look, to get into this movie, you have the Beverly Hills Cop franchise. I don't think I've seen the other films, and if I did, it was 20 years ago or more. So Eddie Murphy plays a detective. He starts out in Detroit. He finds out that his daughter, who lives in Beverly Hills, is in danger because she's embroiled with a case. So he's got to go to Beverly Hills, where he has a major history. And in that major history, people are like, yeah, you're a legend and a problem. And we're seeing that right from the beginning. There's an opening chase sequence where he's chasing down people on quad bikes in a snowplow. So the ridiculous, outlandish nature of this film should come clear at that point. Before I get any further, of course, let me remind you that for 50,000 subscribers, I got to purchase one of these bracelets from the company 4Ocean. 4Ocean pulls a pound of trash out of the ocean every time I do that. Now, one of the things I am aware of with this film is you see the old stars coming back. There's Paul Reiser, there's Judge Reinhold, and they don't have huge parts to play in this film. Their acting is competent, and their makeup is well done. Eddie Murphy, I was not a film viewer when I watched a lot of Eddie Murphy films. In fact, I'm not even sure I have ever reviewed an Eddie Murphy film before. I remember loving Eddie Murphy as an actor before he did the Nutty Professor thing, and I don't think I ever saw the Nutty Professor. I remember seeing the ads for the Nutty Professor, thinking Eddie Murphy seems to be stealing all the parts from all the other actors. He plays a lot of things, and Eddie Murphy is a very talented man, and he is one of those people that gets away with getting into whiteface and pretending to be Jewish. And I've never been offended by that. You see, it's typically a character where there's a barber shop, it's a black barber shop, there's a white guy reading a newspaper. That's Eddie Murphy. And I do believe he actually speaks Yiddish, although I'm not dead sure. And that's who he is. In this movie, you can tell he's a lot older. He still looks pretty young. I mean, the way they did the makeup, he does not look like he's at retirement age. He doesn't have gray hair. And really, he looks like he's in his mid-40s. So good on him, but he doesn't have the same energy and the magic that he used to bring to the roles. I mean, look, Eddie Murphy used to achieve an energy that you would expect came from cocaine. And that's one of those things about the 80s and 90s. In the 80s, cocaine was apparently all over Hollywood, and a lot of people did cocaine. In fact, one of the Blues Brothers movies, or was it the first Blues Brothers movies, they actually set aside money in the budget for cocaine to give the film the animation level that they needed. And that's one of those things. Eddie in this movie, he's still making wisecracks. He's still the same person you would expect from Eddie Murphy. I think I saw the first film, but I'm not sure. And he just doesn't have the same delivery time he used to. It's not as snappy as it used to be. You can tell he really doesn't feel it. And then you have his daughter. She does the thing well, but she's playing against him, and she's putting him in the situations and trying to make him, more uncomfortable, really. She's almost fighting against him, which brings the question, so why are you doing that? Because you're trying to accomplish the same goal. But I mean, it's because they have a strained relationship. And that's understandable. I 100% understand. It's kind of okay. I mean, it's competently done. You know, and then you have Joseph Gordon-Levitt, who plays the love interest for the daughter. He is in this film. He is supporting cast, and his role is very supportive. You know, he's a detective. He's no longer a beat cop. He's kind of, you know, had some personal tragedies. And yeah, the interaction between him and Murphy is good enough, but it's not Eddie Murphy quality. You know, it's just, this is the thing about this film, is that it's not a bad film. If this actor were someone else, I would be saying, yeah, he's playing an Eddie Murphy type, but he's not as good as the real thing. And that's kind of one of those points, is that, yeah, if you're hoping for the same magic that Eddie used to bring, that's not this film. That's not to say this is a bad film. I mean, I enjoyed it. I was watching it at home. I did not sit there and say, gee, I want to turn this off and take a nap, which is something I do often when I'm watching films at home. I got through it. It was entertaining. It was well paced. The action sequences are solid, and what's happening is logical enough. What I'm saying is this film belongs in the upper middle of your watch list. If you have 10 films that you want to watch, this is, you know, fourth down from the top. And that's coincidental with what it's getting on IMDb, which is a 6.6, or basically a D. That's neither here nor there, because I believe the best film in the world gets an A-. It's getting a 66 from critics on Rotten Tomatoes and a 55 from audiences on Rotten Tomatoes. So Beverly Hills Cop, Axel F. It is a solid film. It is not a great film. It is not going to recapture the magic of those 80s and 90s cop films that we had loved so much. There is a Lethal Weapon reference in this, I think. I mean, I don't know. It looks like it's Danny Glover and that Mad Max guy, which I can't remember his name at the moment, but it looks like there's a shot from Lethal Weapon of the two cops, Riggs and what's his name, together. But it's not going to capture the magic of those films. So yeah, I mean, upper middle of the watch list, just above the middle, really, and not bad. If you have Netflix, I would plan on watching this. If you don't have Netflix, it's worth waiting until you go to a friend's house and they use their Netflix, because it's not worth seeking out, but definitely not a non-enjoyable film. It's enjoyable enough. It's not the worst film of the franchise, from what I understand. The worst film would be the third one. I believe this is the fourth, but solid enough film. Anyway, this is my opinion. Love to hear yours. Comments below. I'm Richard.
Randall the Rat here, reminding you to comment, like, and subscribe. And why should you do that? Well, look over here. These are bracelets from 4Ocean. Each one of them means a pound of trash was pulled out of the ocean. And this channel buys one for every 1,000 subscribers it gets. And this around my neck, well, this is a medal from the Conqueror. It represents walking around the Great Pyramids of Giza. You can get one for yourself by going to the Conqueror challenges.com and saying, hey, I want to pretend I walked around the pyramids of Giza without dealing with all the sweat and flies and delicious scarab beetles. Or you could support this channel so they can buy more of these, which means that they will plant trees, because each one of these represents 5 trees that got planted. Yeah, that's right, 5 trees, helping your environment. Global warming sucks. Be a good person, comment, like, and subscribe. Give us more money so that we can plant trees by buying medals from the Conqueror. Randall out.